What is up, Fitter Army? Brian here, and today we are going to break down the infamous push-up. This will be a guide to go from 0 to at least 10 picture-perfect classic push-ups. I'm not saying that this is the go-to guide or the definitive version that everybody should follow. I'm just saying that this is what worked for me. I'll be breaking down the push-up into 5 easy steps, and after which we can move on to even harder versions of it. And the best part is, you won't even know that you are progressing through it, because the strength progressions will be so easy and seamless that you'll be at a very high level before you even realize it. So first off, before starting, I want to put out 2 things. Number 1, the push-up is not an isolation exercise. It is a full body movement, and it uses the arms, the torso, which comprises of your deltoids, your lats, your abdominis, and even your legs, glutes. Everything work together to enable you to do the push-up. You can do the push-up using your arms alone. It's just that your form will be very, very horrible. The second point I want to put out there is, most of the times our muscles will be really strong, but if you don't have the proper joint strength, then there is no way to actually use that strength of the muscle. Okay, so our method will focus on strengthening the joints first, making them used to the load we are giving them, and then they'll be able to better handle the load we are throwing at them when we do the actual push-ups. So this guide will enable you to go from 0 to doing the classic push-up. The classic push-up is actually what people think of when they hear the word push-ups. For this, I've broken down the pathway into 5 different steps, starting from the easiest, the wall push-up, all the way up to the hardest for our case, which is the classic push-up. Okay, so the progressions are the wall push-up, the incline push-up, the push-up hold, the half push-up, and the full push-up. So you might have noticed that I'm skipping a step which is very popular among many people. It is called the kneeling push-up. I'm not a fan of that personally. If you are okay with that, then by all means do it, but I'm not a fan of it because it hurts my knees and it doesn't engage the core well. So it takes off some of the load off your core, which is very important. The core is very important to master the full push-up. So since this variation does very little to actually improve the core, and it is also a little detrimental to the knees, I'm not a fan of it, but if you want to, by all means do it.
So the first step is the wall push-ups. These are the easiest forms of push-ups. You'll barely be pushing any weight at all, but will still be able to check the integrity of your elbow and shoulder joints. Since you're not pushing any weight, you can experiment with different grips and stance widths to find out what works for you best. So here you can see me trying out the narrow stance. These work the triceps a little more, but for our goal of learning how to do the push-ups up to the classic, this is not really necessary, but it is a good addition. This wide stance is okay, but flailing the arms to the sides like I'm demonstrating, that is not okay. That may lead to shoulder impingement and other strain injuries. And most importantly, in case you're facing difficulty in doing this, do not bend the torso like this or twist your trunk in order to just get the movement done. Do not do that. Just step closer to the wall and make the exercise easier before moving forward. So the next step is the incline push-ups. The thing with incline push-ups is that these are a very good bridge between the easy wall variations and the harder floor variations. Apart from the angle of the body to the floor, the other rules like spine straightness, hand spacing, repetition speed, these do not change for any push-up variation, especially because we are learning right now. So here we have moved on to the next step, which is the push-up hold. I like to call this the classic hold because we are actually in the top position of the classic push-up. This is more of a core strengthening exercise than anything else. In here you can find that my elbows are not locked out. This is just to place more emphasis on the arm muscle. You can see me demonstrating the lockout. That is detrimental to the elbow joints. Do not do that. So this will fatigue your core muscles much faster than your arm muscles. And here we have half push-ups. Now these are almost like the full push-ups, except that they have just half the range of motion. Alright, so this is almost the end of the road for learning the push-up. By the time you're in this position, you'll be really strong so that you can actually manage the full push-up all by yourself. And that brings us to the last level, which is the full classic push-up. You'll find that you have amassed enough strength to do this effortlessly, even though you were struggling to do just one rep of it before. That's the beauty of conditioning the joints and moving forward on this step by step.
So there you have it, 5 steps to go from 0 to the classic push-up. And the important thing here is to be consistent and to stick to each level for at least a minimum time to allow your joints and muscles to condition themselves. Don't just try to blaze through the progressions. You can do it, okay? You may be able to go to the classic push-up on day 1 itself. You'll just end up having more joint aches and you'll just get tired faster, and there is an off chance that you might get frustrated and leave it as it is. So don't do that. Be consistent and stick to each step for at least a week, maybe even 2 weeks if you're up for it. That's it for today's video. I hope you like it. Be sure to click the like and comment on it and share it with others who you think might benefit from this. And as always, please subscribe, and until next time, lift your limits.